4 minutes gone past the hour of 10 this morning, and as I told you a few minutes back that we are about to talk serious topic today on the melting point. Welcome to the program. My name is SHARON MANDOR.
I am ANIEFIOK, NKEREUWEM. Good morning.
Alright, with rumors about a mega party or opposition party mergers, we have no other choice but to talk about the importance of these proposed mega party, the so-called mega party, if it happens, because Nigerians are anticipating it and the outcome of what it might give. We're joined in the studio by a journalist, a management consultant, and public affairs analyst. His name is Apostle Samuel Joshua. Good morning to you, Apostle. And he's also a pastor.
Pleasure's mine, and a homecoming to meet my brother and friend.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
All right, let's head into it now. The question of these mega parties, if they have the people's interests at heart, is the big question here. Do they really? I mean, the last one we saw in 2015 that formed what we have the APC now.
2014.
2014 rather.
Yeah.
Would you say, from judgments from your own perspective, that they have the people's interest at heart?
Well, thank you very much. The problem of Nigeria is not the political party. It is the players in the field of politics. That is the problem of Nigeria. And the success of this country as well will never be because of a nomenclature of a political party and a major, so to say. Because we had experience about the CPC, ANPP, ABGA,
and ANC,
and ANC joining together, and even some factions of the PDP was also there, like people like Latiku Abubakar and others. And former governor of Sokoto State was also there with them. They joined together to form the now All Progressives Congress. But you can see that from the inception of the All Progressive Congress, Nigeria has never been the same again. In terms of inflation, in terms of especially food inflation, in terms of the Buhari's government banning importation of food, and then to feed the overgrowing population of Nigeria. Someone told the former president, because I want to really talk about the problem of Nigeria, which cannot be solved by a political party, or no matter the nomenclature of the political party, no matter how the people that form the party would look like, as if they have anything to offer. But you see that when they came into power, you know, when you talk about a major political party, it becomes the marriage of different bedfellows. So they just coming together for the purpose of grabbing power, not for the purpose of giving to Nigerians any change. You see, they came with the mantra of change, and then change we are. Okay, we've seen the change. But the problem was that they did not tell us that this change envisaged will not be a positive change. There we were, the long run. A former minister of agriculture, Adogbe, whether he was in a dream or in a reality, I don't know, when he traveled to Kebbi State, he came back with the good news, telling the former President Buhari that, see, the rice he saw in the warehouses in Kebbi State can feed Nigerians and then West Africa. A big hyperbole. But at the end of it, and the president too, without investigation, banned the importation of food to Nigeria, especially rice. There we are. As of 2015, Maroni beans, which were imported long grain rice, sold for 7,500 naira for 50 kg. There we are. He started moving up to 20,000 naira in foreign rice. Then people say, okay, let us now patronize made in Nigerian rice. There we are. Up till today, I have never eaten Nigerian rice without at least grains of sand. Even the last one I bought now was 46,000 naira a bag, 50 kg bag. That is 64,000 naira. Then you can see between 2015, where the APC came in with their change mantra, you know, then price of rice moves from foreign rice from 7,500 naira for 50 kg bag to foreign rice that's now is 86,000 naira for a 50 kg bag. Then when your National Statistics Bureau of Statistics gives the food inflation to be at 43% or whatever, then you can understand that it is an understatement. It's not a reality. It's just a figment of people's imagination who capitalize on the fact that most of Nigerians are not statistics savvy. They don't understand. If you ask an average Nigerian who claims to be, even those who are graduates in different fields, maybe English language and other fields, I'm not talking now on a program, that what is the problem of Nigeria today? And that statistics, they will give it to them. Okay, the statistics is correct. It's not correct. The food inflation, if you look at my statistics, not only in rice, even if you go to beans, even if you go to Gary was sold about 12 cups for 100 naira in this same country. But today, 4 cups of Gary goes for how much? 1,000 good naira. Some places like Abak, the other time it was 3 cups for 1,000 naira. So how will people feed? So this is really, I'm not changing the course of the issue, but I am trying to let us understand the truth that the problem of Nigeria is not the political party and how fanciful the nomenclature sound, and even those behind it. Because when they come into the government, they change everything into the negative aspects. And then who cares if Nigeria fits? Who cares if you are having food to eat? What we are interested is taxation. Taxation. Like now, what is currently operating now is the regime of taxation. And now the regime of removing subsidy. The regime of Nigerian government listening to IMF. There is no African country that gets money from IMF that does not get broke, including Ghana. And Ghanaians now have stopped getting loans from IMF because they wanted the cedi to be devalued as Naira is being devalued today. But the Ghanaians, I thank God for them, they were wiser and they refused to devalue their currency the way we are going on our own. And then look at the inflation in Ghana. As of 2022, December, inflation rate in Ghana was 54%. Now, as of December last year, inflation rate in Ghana was 23%. So what is the magic? So why can the Nigerian government and the officials not now go into copy the successful track, economic track of Ghana, a neighboring country, a small country? Yes. So this is what we are supposed to do, so that we will now take the politicians, most politicians in Nigeria, cannot be all. Most politicians in Nigeria, I don't take them serious. Because when they get to office, they have forgotten about those who voted for them. Here we are, from the 29th of May, 2023. Nigeria is not the same again. From the 29th of May. Because of the political rhetoric. Okay, subsidy is gone and gone forever. If subsidy is really gone, can we buy for now? Can we say that with Naira at 1,500 and something Naira to $1, can you say for sure that petrol could be sold for even 800 Naira per liter? It's not possible. Because there's subsidy from the back door. Buhari also introduced it from the back door. Because when he came in, he said subsidy is a scam. There was no subsidy. But he realized there was a subsidy. So he started paying it quietly. And that depleted the economy, depleted their income and their resources. So at the end, they said, okay, we have subsidy in the budget. Then they said, but you said there was no subsidy. So what will I advise my leaders is that before you go to government, be it state governor, be it even local government chairman, before you go to government, inside the government, especially when you have not been there before, you have to be very careful about your rhetoric, your communication. Because tomorrow, what you see from outside may be different from what you see from inside. And that is one of the problems that we are having, including the current government in the country now. Because what he saw about the subsidy, even when he said boasted, it was not in his speech in France. So, but why did you say it outside your speech?
Okay, that is a rhetorical question. Samuel Joshua, let me come to you. Most or all of the political presidential candidates in the last election, all in their manifesto said something about the subsidy removal. And well, I do not think that is part of the problems we're having in Nigeria. Some people say it is because of the drivers of the policies, the drivers of these, ideas that are on ground, economic ideas to fine-tune the nation's, economic fortunes. Do you think the drivers of the policy are to be blamed, or the poor policies that have been, set in place by the present government? That is the issue.
Thank you for the question. Let me go back to this subsidy removal on PMS.
Okay.
Let me tell you, from the time of Obasanjo, there has been subsidy in the petroleum sector.
Okay.
But what did they do differently from the present government? They withdraw subsidy gradually.
Okay.
Buhari keep on withdrawing, and we were here. Buhari made a PMS at 87 naira per litre. Then how much was in naira? Naira was 197 naira per dollar. That was the rate. So it is not even the withdrawal per se that makes this thing, because this thing is being imported in dollar standard. That's where the problem is. That's why you can see that even the 100% withdrawal of subsidy on PMS could have not shot up the price so much if the naira was still strong. The killing of the naira is the problem that we are having in the country today. The summation of the matter is very simple: that we must give life to the naira if Nigeria must survive well. If Nigerians must put food on the table easily. There's serious hunger, and which is inflated by what? Fueled by what? Poverty. Is fueled by what? Hardship. By what? Low standard of living and then high cost of living. So that's the issue. So it is not that whether other political parties say subsidy. No. The subsidy removal has been gradual up to Buhari's government. So why do you remove 100%? That's the problem.
Okay, it was hasty.
Not only hasty, he did not cap. If the president was in the government for 2 months, I'm sure he would have never made that comment, because he would have seen what was on ground.
He was part of the previous government. I must have known from an inside.
No, he was not. The president now was not part of the present government.
Yeah.
Simplicity. Was he the minister? What was he? He was not part of the government. And he, like now, unlike people like Atiku Abubakar, he has not served as a vice president before. Supposing you feel that the political party is a problem or nomenclature, if people like Osipajo was in the government now, do you think most of these policies he would have taken it? He would not do it. You know, one thing about Nigeria is that we also want names, nomenclature of people. Oh, this person has been known for many years, and is going to replicate exactly what we did in Lagos State. And here we are. We have seen the wonderful things done in Lagos State, and that those things are still working now. Do you understand?
All right.
And those things are replicated.
Okay, let's away from that. The recent disclosure by the political economist Professor Patu Tomi that leading opposition parties in Nigeria are closing ranks to form a formidable party to stack all Progressive Congress APC has been generating mixed reactions from Nigerians. Some are optimistic that it's going to work. Some say it's going to form another wahala for Nigeria. What's your take?
I just said it. I can't change. I'm as constant as a northern star.
Who's to fix
and rest in quality? There's no feeling different. In this case, they are failures in the family.
Okay.
See, I will not change my gear from the issue that the problem of Nigeria is not a political party or even the major thereof. It is not the problem of Nigeria, because it's the same failures, the same people we know.
Okay,
most of them are people we know.
This actually leads to my next question. Now, as he said, some people are anticipating the merger. But there are lots of angles that need to be clarified. For example, who is going to be president, who is going to drop down from being the presidential candidate and being the vice presidential candidate and all of that. But what should Nigerians look for in the merger to make them sure? Because you can't know how the person before the election is going to act after the election, after the person is put into power. So what should Nigerians look out for in a mega party to be sure that this is for them, this is what they need?
Well, you like the issue of the mega party, which I feel is not the problem of Nigeria. But it is the leadership. Nigeria is lacking in leadership.
Okay.
That is the truth about it. What am I talking about leadership? Is that we are like a pressman, and we interrogate leadership. But a lot of natural Nigerians will not want to interrogate leadership. Once you go to office, they say, okay, that office is exalted, it's the number one office. So you will not interrogate whatever he does. That's what I see in Nigeria. If Nigeria was like Britain, people like former President Trump would never even go to court. Yes, because he was a former president. Yeah. So he has immunity, which is not even conferred by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You see, that a former president, look at now, Nigerians are dragging people and leaving the substance. They are dragging Emefiele and leaving the former president who gave the red pen in everything he does. Whatever he did.
Some said the president wasn't aware of or didn't accept the innovations or from the practice that Emefiele was doing.
No, it cannot be true, because I remember when the former Minister of Finance advised the president that this issue of change of currency is not bad, that the timing that he must get out of instinct is not correct, that it's going to backfire. But the president aligned with Emefiele and told us that what he told him is correct. You see, one other thing about life is this. The office of president, I am telling the senators, I've been discussing with some of them. Let us pick the office of the president, office of senators, members of National Assembly, State House of Assembly, presidents and governors must have a minimum of HND or equivalent. Because there's something in higher tertiary institution. You see, when a man studies economics, he's not going to only read economics. He's going to read statistics. He's going to read accounting. He's going to read, financial and management accounting, sometimes cost accounting as well. And he will be able to study the law and the use of English. You see, in Economics 101, where some people fail in government is because they never studied Economics 101, which forces of demand and supply. They have not. Why do we demand for money? They never knew. So if the president was an all-rounder or even a middle manager by Kada, he should have understood that what the formula that Emefiele brought was just a vendetta. It was vindictive because he could not sit down in the office to contest for the presidency. So that was it. But since he did not know, he fell into all the base problem. And that's why they are having food crisis. Food crisis did not start in this government, as a matter of fact. It started in the previous government. So the mega party, as you are talking about now, is that let us lift a little from the mega party and talk about the personality involved. Yeah. Who are who? It is not just a name. Does he have experience about governance in a national level? Or is just coming in, as a greenhorn? What you see outside may not be exactly what is inside.
Okay, but if you're going to judge by the personality, going from that angle, do you see a possibility of a success if this merger actually happens in the next election?
No, but I will only see a success if I see the election being conducted in a free and fair manner, following the guidelines that are there, and it should be institutionalized that transmission of results should be on real time. That is where this president failed. That's why all of us failed. You did not obey your guideline. Simplicity. So you want me to expect the outcome of the result to be okay? I will not expect it. I will not. What we are doing is that because we are normal citizens, that when the highest court says yes, you have no right to say no. But because you know that 2027, don't forget, that the extension of the new 5-year tenure for the current chairman of INEC will still stay. That man will still be in the office to conduct the 2027 election.
But in the Constitution of Nigeria is not enshrined that that system should be, used for election. It was merely that of INEC that, well, we can try this.
No, that is not the issue. That's not the issue.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that
plus or minus, it can fail. They can withdraw it.
No, what I mean is simple. With Mohammed INEC chairman, that's what I'm talking about. With all due respect to him, you see, what is a man? It's integrity. Integrity is saying doing what you say. That's why we were just taking in so much to his rhetoric.
But
that people are saying that we will not do it, and I have the video. That's why I was interrogating him. That we will do it at real time. And tomorrow you said, okay, and that there was a mistake. Let me tell you, the senatorial election result will come in on real time, which was conducted at the same time with the presidential. So what talk about it? At a certain time they stopped the issue. So we are not going to talk about that. But should that man conduct the election? Nigerians have little faith on him. In Nigeria, let me tell you, before Mohammed Yakubu was there, before the elections, what happened to Neger happened to him. That he did not declare complete assets of his bank account. But do you know what happened? Unlike Onege, that was knocked out because of that, Yakubu Mohammed was given a stockpile to go and declare it now. That is exactly what happened. So when you see a good journalist, a student of history, we have to take the claims on the card. Why do you pardon a person who did not obey the law by declaration of assets? But you did not pardon the other person, maybe because of where he comes from. Onege comes from Cross River State. So Yakubu comes from the north. So you can allow a bank account. But they were given a chance for him to do the needful when the time has passed. So that's one thing I started becoming suspicious. I'm not saying the man is bad, but what I'm saying is that Nigerians lack. In fact, the report of the EU observers indicted him that Nigerians don't have confidence in the electoral system. So I don't know what people think about such reports of the European Union. That one was not Nigerians. That the election was not free and fair. What again?
Oh.
So what we are saying is that no matter how you gang up, if the system does not allow transparency, and not only being transparent, we must be seen as being transparent by the public, by the Nigerians, the voters. Then they look at most of these supplementary elections. You see apathy. Why the apathy? The apathy comes in because they are fed up with the system. So what we should do as a country is let us also put into those things that were not in the law, let it be in the electoral law. Simplicity. The electoral law before in Ahmed's 9th Assembly, National Assembly, the electoral law for what people saw and what the National Assembly, everyone saw, was just very simple. There was inclusion of transmission of electoral results on real time in the commission. But by the time of transmitting it for signature, that's why the senators were so surprised after the elections. They went in session, they said, no, this is not what we saw. He said it was not in this, that they gave Annie the opportunity to make a choice, whether manual or this ones. But that was not what they discussed in the plenaries. That's what they saw. So Ahmed Lawan too, as a leadership of National Assembly, also contributed to the mix-up. That was there. That's the truth about it. So they should not wait, this current government or 10th Assembly should not wait until 2024 or so that they will be dragging feet, sign it or don't sign it and don't sign it. Before you know what happened, they will go in again. If the elections preparation is faulty, then the outcome of it will certainly be faulty. I look at the conduct of the election more than the people that will join together to form a party, because if presidential election, you know what it means to approve it in Nigeria, polling unit by polling unit. That means once you are declared for Gary, that is the truth. for where the law stands now is that once a president is declared in Nigeria, that's okay.
All right, Joshua, let's go. Do you believe in system failures?
Yes, systematic failure could be there, but then in Nigeria, most of what we saw was, like in the elections, was human error. Purely human error. What should have stopped you from postponing the announcement of result for even 34 hours, 36 hours, to make sure that the system works and everything is uploaded? There's nothing wrong about that, because they never wanted the trace of the results. Simplicity. Why is it that the same INEC conducted a no election and we knew the winner of the governorship election before it was announced? The same INEC conducted Ondo election and we knew the winner before it was announced. The same INEC conducted Osun election and we knew the winner before every other thing. This is the truth. The same INEC of Yakubu. So why is it Ekiti election the same thing? We knew the winner. In fact, some people like my brother who was in the PDP, he was shouting at Ondo because he did not walk the way of Edo. So, Malaya was saying, I didn't see this kind of election before. In tweeting, I discovered that something was wrong because he was seeing the results tricking. So, is it magical that he cannot trick when it comes to presidential election?
All right, Apostle Samuel, let's talking about apathy. You mentioned apathy, and we actually observed that in the supplementary election, people did not go out. Even before the supplementary election, the governorship election that took place right after the presidential election, the number of people that came out for the presidential election were more than the people that came out for the governorship election, because people lost the confidence that they had gained before the election because of the announcement of the IREV and the BVAS. Now, there needs to be some reforms. Nigerians are aware of it, for Nigerians to gain confidence in the electoral system of this country. What kind of reforms are we looking at here?
The reforms that we look at is number one. It starts from the parliament. They should tighten the knots of the law. Let them go back to Saraki's leadership of the National Assembly, how they look at the electoral law and the punishment thereof. That a voting officer that refused to upload this, you have 10 years imprisonment. That's the way to go. That will scare people to do the right thing. If you don't transmit it on time, right? This is what is going to happen. BVAS is working like a telephone. Of course, they are using the GSM system. Now, if you snap it and keep the system open, there is no network here. If you move it to where there is network, it's uploaded. It's very simple. It's uploaded. So why don't you do it? So they should do, the first thing is the legal system. The first thing is the legal system. Make sure that you tighten the knots so that the punitive nature should be okay. You can see, like in Akwa Ibom State, when Igini was here, this is the first time I knew that people could be jailed, even a professor could be jailed because of infringement of what? Electoral law. I never believed. I used to always hear stories about, okay, they carry barrel boxes and run away and all this is, nothing happens. But again, he said, no, something will happen this time. So that if you feel that the election was conducted properly in Akwa Ibom North-West, let us see. Then somebody have to go to it. The man is still in jail. A professor. You understand what I mean? So when you don't start from the parliament to make the right law, and attach punitive measures that will deter people from committing infractions during elections, then it has not started well. Then come back to the practice. I don't want the kind of rhetoric that the promises, unfulfilled promises that Mohammed Yakubu gave to us, which is still in my tape. Every time I play that thing, I feel like crying for Nigeria, honestly, because somebody is telling you that he has a rumor that people say that this thing will not be transmitted. And after all, why are we here? We are here to satisfy Nigerians. Who will never believe that? But at the end of it all, you are telling us another story. You are singing another song. Which song will you sing? So if people like that, I mean, sometime along the line, there should be a vote of no confidence, and then you tell somebody, step aside. Let us bring in some other person to do the job. Jiga did the job. A sitting party, political party was removed. The sitting president was removed. He did his job. The guy is now still talking about the electoral law and the way we are seeing it. He too criticized what he saw in the elections. Simple and clear. He's still a university professor. He's still teaching, and nobody's looking after him.
What are your views on the presidential system of government in Nigeria? Some say it's expensive and should be replaced.
Well, it is obviously expensive because of our economy. Nigeria is bleeding. We don't have money. So why should you continue with this system when it is very, very expensive? It's very, very expensive. If you know what the National Assembly gets at the end of the year, National Assembly do, then you'll be surprised why some people are talking about 48,000 naira as minimum wage. I know SHARON would not like me to go there. But it's affecting.
There's a meeting today on that.
No, but it's not a meeting. They don't need it. Labour should maintain their ground. They don't need any meeting. They don't need any negotiation. You have given your own, and they feel that out of 600 something thousand naira minimum wage, which the Labour has stated why, because of the inflation. Now, your own part, the reply of the federal government is a mockery of the Labour. It's a mockery of the Labour. It's mockery of the issue of the hardship of Nigerians. You are talking about paltry 48,000 naira. 48,000 naira cannot buy a bag of rice. Sure, I mean the local rice, which is 64,000 naira now. So what are you talking about 48? No, 48 is not right. 48 is not good.
Okay, dear listener, if you are joining us now, this is Melting Point on MEMORIES965 FM, and we are taking a look at the recent statement by political economist Professor Patu Tome that some parties, parties like such as PDP, Labour Party, and NPP, and others should form a merger and put the ruling government on its toes. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, if how successful that would be. But you're free to call us on 0803 085 7755, and also let's say your views and comments on the issue we're having at hand. Otherwise, you can call 0809 066 6909. Okay, we got a call here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
good morning. Could you step away from a radio set?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we
Very
can
well.
hear you. What's your name and where you calling us
Okay.
from?
Yeah, my name is Larry. I'm calling.
Larry from where?
Okay, I really want to thank the speaker in the studio there.
Okay.
So I think breaking down these things for us the way we can really understand. You see, I think the Nigerian political system is actually a product of who we are as a people. You understand? Because we seem not to be sincere to ourselves, and that's why the country is the way it is today. You understand? So if we could set up, I think if we could set apart tribalism, bigotry, let's just have this unity. You understand? We don't have all these political. Well, if you look at very well, most of the political issues are happening. They are basically tribal and religious. You understand? If there's any way we can just let go of this thing, and as a people, you know, we put ourselves as a people, our development as a people, our growth as a people, and it's better for us. We don't have any political issues to even start with. Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you very much. We're taking up some
Thank
more
you.
calls. 0803 085 7755, 0803 085 7755, or 0809 066 6909, 0809 066 6909. That number also serves as our WhatsApp number. You could also comment under our live feed. We're streaming live on Facebook. The handle is MEMORIES965FM. Drop a comment and then your comment will be read. Apostle Samuel, let's get talking about
The last speaker talked about we don't have a political party. Well, I don't know what he means by that. Where we have political parties. But the issue is the functionality. Is it functioning well? And is it saving the right, even the opposition? Are they playing the normal role of the opposition? If they are playing the normal role of the opposition, they are supposed to be stopped. Okay, is the government listening to? Because I see the government sometimes, if you give advice from the opposition camp, they say, no, it's not supposed to give us such advice. No, come on. It is not done everywhere in the world. That means you are becoming personal on issues that should affect a country. And somebody, I listened to something that he says. He's talking about unity of Nigeria. Are we really united? If we are really united, why is it that some people will always be talking about Northern elders? Northern elders are not so vociferous because maybe somebody from the north is no more there. Why were they not talking so much? Look at the level of insecurity under Buhari cannot be compared to now. But they're not elders. We're not really talking sometimes. They hardly talk. So now, if a little communication of this government now, okay, let us move this ministry to where, like now, localization of industries. They are talking about move this place to Lagos, where the whole system is operating, like Port Authority. Now, come on, how many ports are in Abuja? He said, no, they are moving it now. Things from the south, we will not agree. I said, come on. Abuja is also Nigeria. It is not the north as such. It is Nigeria. So if you move it to Lagos, with a port authority, we have so much congested ports in Lagos. So if he moves it there, okay, it is tribalism. It is division. So we must try to see Nigeria as one united country and indivisible, than seeing Nigeria from the prism of what? Tribalism, nepotism, ethnicity. If we go that way, we cannot get a one Nigeria. Now people are saying that there is no one Nigeria. And then whoever is in the leadership should understand that if you give all choice appointments to your zone, your brothers, that every other person is going to shout. Like now I'm shouting. Because South we don't have big appointments. We don't have. Like look at Beta Ilu. Suspended indefinitely and then unnecessarily. Without coming back to bring the person back to do the job. That means we are not represented. We are not represented in that position. You see, the ministry is very important ministry, but it's left like that. And now if the woman has done anything wrong, why didn't you charge her to court? Because you know that there was nothing wrong because the money was seen. The money is still there. It's not in account. So why don't you reinstate her, let her start her job? So for us to talk about one Nigeria, we must be seen to be one united family.
You mentioned the fact that opposition parties, are they doing their job as opposition parties? Now, in weeks before now, we've seen Atiku Abubakar and even Peter Obi being presidential candidates of the opposition parties come out to criticize some of the things that the presidency is doing and has done, and there are times where there's some form of defense.
Then the bulldogs will come up.
Some kind of defense, like why don't you constructively criticize us, give us solutions and all of that? And sometimes they talk down, for lack of a better word, talk down on some of the things that the opposition parties are suggesting. Okay, so now that there are rumors of a mega party, if there's actually a merger, should this be something that in the next election the president should be worried about?
No, but the issue of is not worried about. You have just pick on something now. Peter Obi was talking about, you say you don't have money. Nigeria is broke. Yeah. That's the truth. Yeah. Of course, if you say Nigeria is broke, it's an understatement. We have all seen it. But why are you going into construction of the Lagos Calabar superhighway or coastal highway? At what cost? Per kilometer is 4 billion naira per kilometer, and that's times 700 kilometers. And now at times like this, and then Atiku was talking about who has interest in Haiti, and he says she has it. Simple and clear. But Adenega, now coming from the presidency, was attacking the personality of Atiku instead of the subject matter. He was attacking that, and it's permitted by the president. That okay, when you were having another company, it is not the way we are supposed to go in Nigeria as a country. That's not the way we are supposed to go. So you've seen it now that when someone is correcting you, Obi is talking about you are pulling down businesses at times like this. You are putting people back to committing suicide like what used to happen in the lagoon in Lagos every day. Of course, when people see the source of livelihood is gone, and they are bound to commit even crimes to survive. That's what Obi's angle as an economist. But the presidency said, no. You don't tell us this is a better time to do it. Atiku came in from another angle that there is conflict of interest if she truly have interest in the company Haiti. Do you understand? You are not supposed. Outside Nigeria, it will not be done. You remember Naji, who was a minister of power? Yeah. His company had a contract. and Buhari excused him. He was sacked. I think it was the time of Jonathan. He was sacked. Engineer Naji, he was a minister. But that is what is called what? Conflict of interest. Okay? Undue influence that you have on the company that can cause something in the quotations. But now, in this government, you will not see that happen. Because when it starts from the top, and the top feels comfortable, the others would like to join you. That's where the problem is. So it is not that the opposition may not be talking. But sometimes when they talk, you drop the issue and now start talking about personality. That is where my problem is. Like now we are talking issues. Journalists don't gossip. We say the truth and we say the issues with all amount of responsibility and respect to the office of whoever. That's the truth. So, mega party or no mega party, the question is that who is going to be the president? And will they, Nigerians, and Nigerians in quotes, allow the election to be a free and fair election? Credible too. If that one is not allowed, then forget about it. Because the same people will be there in 2027. I've told you before. The same leadership of INEC will still be there. Okay. So that's our fears.
Okay, Joshua, excuse us. Let's have this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
I want to divide when your case said that NKEREUWEM conducted a fair election. That's the reason why they were able to win the power that we had at that time. I want to remind you that you should not forget the underage that was voting during that election. I was not being proper. So, if we want to talk about 2027, even though the measures that you are here talking about, if Mahmoud is not being removed, I don't see the possibility that any other party will be able to emerge at 2027. Because that same people are still on seat. And the person in the person of Bola Tinubu, we will do all what it takes to make sure that he retains power till 8 years. So if Mahmoud is not being removed from that place, whether the whole, I don't know how many parties will come to emerge that will be able to total the power to take away Tinubu, they will still be there. So that's my take. We should not forget that in a hurry. The PDP, the APC, or the Labour Party, the NN, and all of them coming together. With that, they will not see the light of the day. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, you heard him.
That's his opinion, you see. But he's agreed on points. You see, that's one thing about elitist communication. I thank him so much. Because he's disagreeing on points. That to him, they were on our age voters, that was a truism. But that did not scuttle entirely the result of the election. When you talk about writing a report, in methodology will determine the veracity of the results. That's why you test the instruments. You understand? So the subset of small subset of people coming to vote because they were declared to be adult when they were not, did not really undermine the integrity of that election. Because if the man at the top did not pronounce Buhari himself a winner, he could have not walked, and everyone would have not fallen. But he did, and then that was it. So I think that election, to me, was in Nigeria. When you say the election is free and fair, then that means he has up to 30% out of 100 that is doing right. That's the way I look at Nigeria election. So if I say free and fair, I do not really mean that it was. Of course, it does not really mean it stands the normal taste of election outside Nigeria.
Okay, some are anticipating leadership tussles or problem in the mergers. And of course, you are aware that before 2023 general elections, all entreaties by prominent Nigerians to convince Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi and his NNPP counterpart Rabiu Kwankwaso to bury their personal ambitions and work together in the interests of their teeming supporters failed. How do you see the leadership crisis that is in the offing?
Well, that election that have gone, even if Kwankwaso had joined with Peter Obi, Peter could have not won election.
How so?
No, I'm sure of what I'm saying. You see, this is what we are talking about unity. The North posted a picture of a freedom that we have to vote for the right person. But at the end of it all, they were voting for Tiku. You saw the reflection of the results. They voted for Tiku. Obi was very lucky that he went to the field for the first time. Now he has started doing the normal business. He was not known. And that's exactly what the current governor of Anambra State, his state, told him, Soludo, Dakom, as you are going now, don't go with the mind of winning the first time. Go with the mind that people will start to know you. And that was my take about it. It was not the issue of ruling in figures. You see, I'm not saying that the Messiah of Nigeria is Peter Obi. I cannot say so. Because I'm a management consultant. No, that's the truth about it. Because even at the build up to the elections, there were some communications that turned me out of Peter Obi. I must say it today on the studio. So it is not all about it was Peter that could have been the Messiah. No. He was one of the people that possibly could have made Nigeria better because of his knowledge. Because when he ruled out some figures, the figures did not tally. That's the truth about it. I am a journalist. I investigated many things. You said that you had an award as the best governor on health in Nigeria by that foundation. But we discovered that you were given only award on what? Polio. Not in healthcare. No. You get surprised today. We keep certain things off, but not because we don't know how to say it. But I'm saying it today. Maybe the memories have the vintage of saying these things. That I did not vote for him because I did not believe in so many things I said. That's my own issue. Some people were carrying forward that, okay, when it was in Anambra State, and the former governor asking, the present governor, professor, asking, you said you saved so much money in the bank, but the population, sorry, the poverty level in your states as at that time was 75%. So why do you save money in the bank when your people, you could have used that money to develop the place so that the poverty level could have reduced? That's what Soludo back to him. And then they went to his village and burned the places. You know that how some people could operate. Because they don't understand, they feel that with the name, everyone that is Igbo man is supposed to follow the man. No, it's not like that. Politics is not like that. Not that they have problems, but they were talking on issues. And what Soludo said played out in the election results. That's the truth. I come. First timer. And he was so lucky to have up to 6 million votes as a first timer. It's not easy because so many people supported him. But the truth is that this time around, we will look beyond ruling out of figures. Okay?
Okay. Ruling
out of figures to the issue of who is who in personality standard, so that we will get it right. But again, as this last speaker said, we must tighten the electoral system. We must give confidence back to Nigerians that when I go out to vote, my vote will count. Otherwise, there will be a party. And when there is a party, the wrong person wins. Because the wrong person now will be mobilizing people, giving the resources or money, especially when there's so much of poverty. Then people who go for election now, the money bags will win the election because things are so hard. When you give people some few cups of rice, they will take that one and vote for you.
Yeah, Joshua, we thank you, but we don't have enough time on hands to continue this wonderful discussion. But what do you think the merger will be like? Are you suspect of foreseeing any crisis in leadership?
Well, if they do the merger, it's still good for them. But they must, you see, if you want gold, you must dig below. Gold cannot be seen in the surface. They say ambition should be made of stainless stuff.
All right, thank you very much, Apostle Samuel Joshua, a public affairs analyst, journalist, management consultant. Thank you, pastor. Pastor, thank you very much. Thank you for your time and contribution. We hope to have you again on the show. Whenever you come here, it's always insightful. So thank you very much. All right, we've come to the end of the program, the melting point on Memories 96.5 FM. In 6 minutes' time, at top of the hour, will be the back pass with Patrick Adeka, so do well to stay tuned. My name is Sharon Mandor.
Thank you very much for joining us. The conversation continues on our Facebook page, and we are ready and willing to hear from you. Thank you very much. My name has not changed. It's still ANIEFIOK. NKEREUWEM. Thank you, Apostle Samuel Joshua, and we hope to do this sometime again. Back pass is next, and my friend Adeka is in the house.